What is going on, everyone? And in this video I'll be giving you my UFC Vegas 21 co-main event prediction and main event prediction. Didn't really have a good event last week, didn't have a good event the week before and an event before, so hoping to get back into it, hoping that I get some of these picks right, get on to top of the leaderboard. We'll see what happens. But yeah, obviously we've already had one fight fall out, and I believe another fight with Rothwell, that one fell out too, so hopefully no more fights fall out, but I really hope the main event stays intact. That's really the one I'm looking at. So like always, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my picks, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the co-main event and the main event. So in the co-main event of the evening, we have Misha Cirkunov taking on Ryan Spann. And in this fight, initially I was thinking, let's go with Ryan Spann because Cirkunov, he's not really reliable. Sometimes he gets in there, like in his last fight, he really gets the takedown. But it's kind of reckless, but he's very dangerous with the submissions. And he does have a lot of power, you know, he has a lot of explosiveness. Both of these guys can probably, because of their weight, explode and definitely destroy one another. But the thing is, for Ryan Spann, is I feel like his only avenue in this fight is not going to be to grind out a decision, fight smart. I feel like he's probably going to press forward. I don't see him going for a takedown, Ryan Spann, in this one. I think that would be kind of stupid because Cirkunov could definitely pull submission on him. And even Cirkunov, you know, he could hurt Ryan Spann on the feet. He could definitely make this into a crazy brawl. And I think when things get crazy, I feel like Cirkunov would be the one to pull off some sort of submission. I think that's his ace in the hole. Could they knock each other out? Could Spann just run him over? Yes, of course, but at the same time, I think Cirkunov is very dangerous as well, and you never want to count this guy out. And that wrestling, if this fight gets to the ground for any reason, even if they're both wobbled or something like that, I would just never count out Cirkunov, especially with his submissions. And I think this fight isn't going to go 3 rounds. I think definitely early on, they're going to just swing. You know, you got to look for Cirkunov to probably go for that takedown. I think obviously his wrestling is going to be a lot better than Ryan Spann. And for Spann, I would suggest not rushing in like a crazy man, but I guess possibly trying to hurt Cirkunov early, see what he can do there. But he has to be very careful. That's why I can't go with Ryan Spann on this one. I just feel like Spann, his avenue is to knock him out. And then Cirkunov can knock him out, go for a submission, grind him. But we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, we've had some of these fights where they don't go plan, that anyone thinks, and the other guy just gets absolutely ran over. So, but I'm going to go with Misha Cirkunov on this one. I think he's the veteran. Even though Spann has a lot of fights, I just feel like Cirkunov is the guy who's going to have that submission game in case anything goes wrong. And even if he's hurt, I feel like he could still get a submission like we've seen before. So I'm going to take Misha Cirkunov to defeat Ryan Spann. I'll take him to win in round number 1 by submission. And then move into the main event of the evening. And this is an interesting fight for me because, one, obviously it wasn't a planned fight. It's not like Leon Edwards was training for Belal Muhammad. Edwards hasn't fought, I believe, in like a year. He's had a lot of controversy. He's calling people out left and right. Edwards is definitely not... I feel like Edwards is like a miniature, like a smaller version of Kamaru Usman. Whereas, and even in his style too, you know, I feel like Kamaru Usman is dangerous. He can knock you out. He can wrestle you. He can submit you. whereas Edwards is more of the point fighter. He can grind you out, but he's not knocking people out left and right. He's not putting on that kind of pressure. So for this fight, obviously, I think obviously the stand-up's got to go to Belal Muhammad. Both of these guys have wrestling. I think most people assume, though, that Leon Edwards is going to be the one trying to grind this one out. I don't see Muhammad grinding him out. I feel like it'll be more of a defensive wrestling. Edwards is probably going to try to point fight in this one. If Belal Muhammad can get him backing up, though, and work his boxing in close, I really do think Muhammad can outpoint him. I don't see this fight getting finished unless maybe something happens with Muhammad and he gets like badly hurt, or you see him start gassing out and Edwards is able to take over and grind him out, or possibly submit him. But I think more than likely in this fight, it's going to go to a decision. Now, whether or not Belal Muhammad does what he needs to do, and that's get in his face, work the leg kicks, really just beat up Leon Edwards, not get taken down, and be the one pressing forward and putting on all the pressure so he can take him out and win this fight by a decision. But it's going to be very hard because obviously Leon Edwards has fought the better competition in this between these two fighters, and he's definitely prepared to go 5 rounds. He knows how to get the victory, but we will see, because I think if you count out Belal Muhammad, that's where you make the mistake. We've seen this time and time again where you don't expect the other guy to do anything, but then, you know, someone like Leon Edwards, he dominates the fight. Belal Muhammad has definitely increased, though, as far as his skill, and that's just why I don't think it's someone that, like, I just can't see Edwards just running through him. I feel like he might struggle, and I'm willing to go for that in this fight, and that's why I'm going to take Belal Muhammad. I think Belal Muhammad is going to get in his face. I think he's going to leg kick him. I think he can piece him up. The only thing that I'm scared is that, like, Muhammad tires out or something and then starts gassing out and gets taken down constantly. But I do believe if Muhammad presses forward, gets in his face, pieces him up with the boxing, slams in those leg kicks, I think he'd make Edwards be a little bit in trouble. But I don't think anyone's getting finished, so I'm going to go with Belal Muhammad. I'm going to take him to win a very close decision against Leon Edwards in this fight. So that'll do it, guys. Those are my predictions for the co-main event. The main event, 2 good fights. I really do think 2 good fights. Gonna be interesting to see what happens in that main event. Like I said, it could go, you know, it could be completely one-sided, but you never know now these days with these short notice fights. Anything can happen. So those are my predictions, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment down below, hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.